What if the reason your dog seems anxious, distant, or unhappy has nothing to do with them, and everything to do with you? That's not easy to hear. But the truth is, most of the things that slowly damage a dog's sense of safety and trust don't come from neglect, they come from love. From habits so normal, so automatic, that you'd never think to question them. These are 6 of them, and once you see them, you won't be able to unsee them. 1. You hug your dog and think they love it. Picture this. Your dog is sitting beside you. You wrap your arms around them, pull them close and hold on. It feels like the most natural thing in the world. It feels like love, but here's what most owners never find out. To a dog, being held still by something wrapped around their body is not comfort. It's restraint. Dogs don't hug each other. It's not part of their language. When one dog places a limb over another, it's actually a dominance signal, a way of asserting control. So when you wrap your arms around your dog and squeeze, what you're communicating in their language is something very different from what you feel in yours. A study published in Psychology Today analyzed photos of people hugging their dogs and looked for stress signals in the dog's body language. The results were striking. In the majority of photos, the dogs showed at least one clear sign of discomfort: ears pinned back, head turned away, eyes half closed, or showing what's called whale eye, where the whites of the eyes become visible. Your dog probably tolerates your hugs. They might even stay still and let you do it. But tolerating something and enjoying it are 2 very different things, and a dog who spends years being regularly restrained by the person they love most will slowly start to feel like closeness comes with a cost. Watch your dog next time you hug them. Watch their ears, watch their eyes. The answer is already there. 2. You use their name when something bad is about to happen. Think about how many times a day you say your dog's name. Now think about what usually follows it. Max tokens, no. Max tokens, no. Max tokens, come tokens, here, right before the bath they hate, the nail trim that scares them, the moment you grab their collar and end the thing they were enjoying. Dogs don't understand words the way we do, but they are extraordinary at learning associations. And if your dog's name has been paired enough times with corrections, with things ending with discomfort or frustration, their name stops feeling like a warm hello. It starts to feel like a warning. Researchers who study dog cognition have found that dogs respond to the emotional tone and context of sounds far more than the sounds themselves. Your dog doesn't need to understand language to learn that hearing their name means something unpleasant is coming. Their nervous system learns it automatically, the same way you'd flinch at a sound that once meant pain. The fix is almost painfully simple. Say your dog's name for good things. Say it before meals, before play, before affection. Make it the most positive sound in their world. Because right now, for many dogs, it isn't. And that quiet shift in what their name means to them changes everything about how they respond to you. 3. You let them greet other dogs without reading the signals. You're on a walk, another dog appears. Both dogs seem excited. You let them approach. What could go wrong? Here's what most owners miss entirely. Excitement and happiness are not the same thing in dogs. A dog pulling hard toward another dog with a stiff body, high tail, and fixed stare is not necessarily a friendly dog. They might be overstimulated, anxious, or displaying behavior that the other dog will read as a challenge. Dog-to-dog greetings have a specific etiquette in canine communication. The ideal greeting is curved, not straight. Dogs approaching head-on is actually considered rude in dog language, even threatening. The safest greetings involve both dogs curving their bodies, sniffing from the side, keeping their tails loose. When owners allow direct face-to-face, pulling, frantic greetings, they're not just risking a conflict between the dogs, they're teaching their own dog that this level of arousal is normal and acceptable. Over time, that dog becomes harder to manage, more reactive, and more likely to tip into aggression, not because they're a bad dog, but because no one ever taught them that there's a calmer way. And if your dog has had a bad experience with another dog after one of these greetings, they remember. Dogs have long associative memories. One overwhelming encounter can create weeks or months of reactivity on leash, all from a greeting that looked fine on the surface. And hey, if this is making you think about your dog differently, hit like and subscribe. These videos exist for the owners who actually want to understand what's happening beneath the surface. 4. You comfort them when they're scared and make it worse. Your dog is terrified of thunder. The storm rolls in. They come to you shaking, panting, trying to climb into your lap. And you do what any loving person would do. You hold them, you stroke them. You say it's tokens namanoke. Tokens namano softest voice. And somehow every storm they seem to get a little worse. Here's why. Dogs learn by association, but they also learn by watching you. When your dog is in a fear response and you immediately rush to comfort them with intense physical contact and a high, anxious voice, you're not calming them down, you're confirming something. To your dog, your reaction is information. You are the most important creature in their world. You are their signal for how to feel about everything, and when they look to you during something scary and see you acting worried, speaking in a tight, high voice, giving them urgent attention, their brain registers it as, "This must actually be dangerous. My human is scared too." A landmark study on fear conditioning in dogs found that owner behavior during fearful events was one of the strongest predictors of whether a dog's fear would worsen over time. Dogs whose owners stayed calm and neutral recovered faster. Dogs whose owners became anxious or over-attentive developed stronger, longer-lasting fear responses. This doesn't mean ignoring your dog when they're scared. It means being their calm anchor instead of their mirror. Sit down, breathe slowly, let them come to you without making it a big moment. Your stillness tells them something your words never can. It tells them, "I've assessed the threat. We're safe. You can relax." 5. You punish them after the fact and destroy their trust. Your dog chewed your shoe while you were out. You come home, see the damage and react. You raise your voice. Maybe you point at the shoe. Maybe you grab them by the collar and bring them to it. Their ears go back, they look guilty. Clearly they know what they did, except they don't. That guilty look, the flattened ears, the lowered head, the avoidance, is not a sign that your dog understands they did something wrong. It's a fear response. It's your dog reading your body language right now and reacting to your anger in this moment. It has nothing to do with what happened an hour ago. A study from the University of Alexandria tested this directly. Dogs were made to look guilty whether or not they had actually done anything wrong. Owners who believed their dog had misbehaved saw guilt regardless of the truth, and when owners punished based on that look, the dogs showed more of it, not because they were more guilty, but because they were more afraid. Dogs live in the present. Their brains are not built to connect a punishment delivered minutes or hours after an action to that action itself. What they connect it to is you, your arrival, your presence. And over time, a dog who is punished after the fact doesn't learn not to chew shoes. They learn that when you come home, something bad happens. They become anxious at your arrival, they hide, they shut down. You don't lose a well-behaved dog. You lose a dog who feels safe with you. 6. You leave them alone with nothing and call it independence. There is a myth so deeply embedded in how we talk about dogs that most people never think to question it. The myth that dogs are independent, that they're fine alone, that as long as they have water and a warm place to sleep, they'll just wait quietly until you get back. They won't. And the science is unambiguous about this. Dogs are pack animals in the truest sense of the word. Their entire nervous system is built around social connection. Isolation doesn't just bore them, it stresses them at a biological level. A 2019 study published in Scientific Reports found that dogs left alone for extended periods showed significant increases in cortisol, the primary stress hormone, along with behavioral signs of distress that often went unnoticed by their owners because they happened in secret, in the silence of an empty home. Destructive behavior, excessive licking, repetitive pacing, loss of appetite. These aren't signs of a badly behaved dog. They're symptoms of a dog whose social needs are not being met, quietly suffering in a language most owners never learn to read. And here's the part that should stay with you. Your dog doesn't understand why you leave. They don't understand work or errands or responsibilities. All they know is that the most important being in their world walked out that door, and they don't know if you're coming back every single time. You don't need to be home every hour, but what you do before you leave and when you return matters more than most owners realize. Leave something that smells like you. Create a routine that signals safety, and when you walk back through that door, don't just pass them by. Get down to their level. Give them 2 minutes of real, present connection, because to your dog, you are not just their owner, you are their entire world, and they spend every moment you're gone waiting for it to come back.